Hi everyone. So today's video, we're just going to do a nice little easy yoga stretch. This is good for beginners that are maybe, or if you just wake up in the morning, you just want to do a nice easy stretch, or you've just come home from work and just feel you've not got the full energy to do a full yoga flow. Just nice, gentle, easy stretch. So today I'm quite tight through the back, the hips, the shins. And as I said to my live class already, I was knocked off my bike in a car accident, so that's why I'm feeling a bit stiff, which is the reason why we're doing such an easy flow today. But it's good to have it on video so that then anytime you just feel like that easy option, then you can come back to this video. So we're going to start by lying on our backs in Savasana, which is lying down on your back. So take a few minutes just to lie down there. We've got a live class on at the same time. It's a yin style yoga. So yin is when we just lie in the postures, we surrender, and it's quite hard for you to do because if you're used to being in the gym and being really, really busy, and the gyms, everyone's working out, we tend to be quite fast paced, high energy. This is now time to relax, unwind, get yourself ready for the day or just finish off the day. So when you're lying in Savasana, just give your hips a little wiggle, make sure you feel comfortable, feet to the edge of the mat, toes turned out to the side so you're externally rotating through the hips. Hands wide. If you're cold, just put your hands on your stomach. You can have a blanket over you if you need to. We're not going to be here for too long though, so don't worry. So hands back, tucking your shoulder blades under. You can keep your eyes open just until you feel you're settled. And then when you can, just take that minute. I know it's hard, but close the eyes and scan over the body. Right through, how is your feet feeling? Your toes, give them a little wiggle, fingers a wiggle, and just move about your hips until you're in your comfiest place. Okay, so if you need to take your feet wider, you can do that. And it's a full body scan, so you're just checking in. How is your right knee compared to your left, your thighs, your hips, your abdominals, your back, chest and shoulders, all the way down your arms? Is everything feeling symmetrical? Or are you noticing things like one shoulder might be a little bit higher off the floor than the other? Just take that minute just to relax, prepare yourself for a nice deep stretch. And then slowly from here, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, starting to really increase a little bit of movement. And then you can either keep your eyes closed if you want, or you can open them, but we're going to slide our feet in one at a time, just so the knees are bent. Curling the tailbone under. And then you're going to take one knee and pull it in towards your chest. Now we're just going to do a little bit of movement here. So you're pulling it in and then release, pulling in and then release, pull in and release. Nice and easy. So we're working through the arms, pulling in towards your ribs, knee towards your chest. And then we're going to pull it in and then leave it in there as you extend the other leg. So you can point the toe and flex the foot of that extended leg. Point and flex, point and flex. Keeping it just about an inch off the floor. And then the longer we stay here, you'll start to feel things starting to change, muscle fibers starting to loosen off. The main thing today, we're going to be working deep into the fascia, the connective tissue, just to allow it time to unwind. Good. And then rest that leg on the ground. Now your knee that's bent, I want you to do again a pull and release. I want you to take it across your body, then to the middle, then to the outside, then to the middle, then across, then to the middle, then outside. Really just working into where are you feeling tightness in at that hip. Start to pay attention to that. Where do you maybe need to stay a little bit longer? Good. And then holding just behind the leg. And then we're just going to flex the foot, kick towards the ceiling, and then point the toe as you come down. Flex, so dig the heel up, then point the toe on the way down. Flex and point, and flex and point. So we're not just working through the hamstrings in the back of the leg, you're working through your ankles and your toes as well. And then we're going to leave it up there and then just point and flex the feet. Really start to work into your calf muscles and your shins. Full point, full flex. You might be finding little muscles that we just don't pay attention to. Starting to ease them off. If any muscles in the shin, the calf, the feet are tight, out of alignment, restricted, that's going to affect your balance as well when we're standing. Good, and then you might be able to take your hands all the way up to the calf muscle, and it's just a gentle ease and release, pull and release, pull and release. If that's too much, you just hold on to the back of the leg. You could have a yoga strap tied around your foot and starting to do a little pull here. So you can, if you've got any of these props, if you're at home and you've not got a strap, something like a house coat band will help with that too. Good, and then slowly bringing that knee down. We're going to take that same knee and take it across your body, rolling onto your side and open up with the opposite arm. So you're trying to get your knee, doesn't have to touch the ground, don't try and push it down there, but we're rolling over to the side, knee coming across your body, looking along towards the opposite hand. Now, as you're here, you're going to feel that stretch right through your obliques and your rib cage. So take your hand for a second and just hold on to that top rib. Right, feel the muscles that are tight. Now breathe into that top rib. So we're breathing in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can let go of the rib and still keep that sensation going as we extend the arm out. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, you can look across if you want to your bent leg, and we're just going to extend it out. Try and straighten that leg out. You're going to get that real big sensation right through the IT band, right into your hip. If you wanted to go a little bit deeper, you could have a band tied around your foot, hooking onto your toes, and you could pull the band up. Or if you're really flexible and you want to reach for your toe, you can reach and grab your toe. Once you get it, you can still then look along the opposite side. Now again, we're here, we're resting, we're surrendering. I'm not going to get you jumping up and just doing this for 5 seconds and then coming out it. We stay, feel the change, feel the shake through the muscle, back off when you need to. We're not trying to force deeper. You just want to relax and soften in this posture. So when things are tight, just take that minute just to unwind. This is when you're just closing your eyes and postures. Gets you that more relaxation sensation. And then drag your foot along the ground, bending the knee, bringing it back up. We're still staying on this one leg, so rolling over to your back, taking your knee. So if it's right knee with the right hand, and then you're going to take your knee out to the side this time. Take your other hand just on top of your hip. So rather than try and get your toe down and your knee being up, let's try and lift your foot high and try and get your knee down. Don't twist or rock over to the side. Try and keep your stability here. Well done. And then slowly bring your knee back to the center. If you can extend the leg, you might be able to sit up and reach the toe. You might be able to lie back and reach the toe, but just hold it here. You can sit up and then rest the head back. If it's too much, yoga strap or just grab onto the inside of your leg. So we're going to keep our both hips down on the ground and allow that leg to fall out to the side. You'll feel like you're just about to topple over, but try and catch your balance, go softly into it, and just rest, opening those legs out to the side. So we do this standing. This is a posture that we would do standing, but again, if you haven't got the flexibility or the range to do it, this is when we need to spend the time and the practice on the floor to get the flexibility, get the movement, and then all you need to do is add in the balance. And as I said before, it might be things that are going on in your feet and your shins and your calves that are stopping you from balancing. And then slowly, you can bring that leg all the way back up using your abdominals, bending the knee, and then take that knee down. Now, extend your leg. And what you're going to feel here is the difference from your right to your left hip. Okay, so you're going to feel like one leg's just been pulled so much longer. So give yourself a little wiggle side to side and just see how much you've just improved on that one side, that change in sensation. Let's do the same on the other side. So we're going to bend both knees first. Tilt the pelvis under, grabbing onto the knee, and just do that nice little pull and release. Obviously, when we're doing yin yoga like this, it's nice to have your house nice and warm as well. The more heat you can relax. If you're cold, you tend to not be able to do this. Your muscles get tight, they seize up. You're too busy shaking and shuddering to enjoy it. So make sure that you're wrapped up nice and warm when you're doing this. Good. Now pull the knee in, hold it in, and extend the other leg an inch off the floor, and you're going to point and flex, and point and flex. So not only are you pointing and flexing the foot and trying to think about that leg being pulled away further, this knee has been pulled in towards your chest and your ribs. And again, just feeling the difference from side to side. Then take your leg down, the knee that's bent, we're just going to pull and release, pull and release. This is when you can start to do across your body, into the middle, out to the side, the middle, across, middle, and side. And again, doesn't mean you're trying as much to get symmetry through your body, but if things are going on and one side's a little bit tighter, and back off a little bit with the other side as you try to increase the range on one side. Try and get yourself to match as much as possible. And then slowly from here, just take your hand behind your thigh, point the toe, flex the foot, kick towards the ceiling, bend in the knee, kick the heel up, bend in the knee. As I said, we called it easy yoga. It's just a gentle way to stretch in. Point the toes on the way down, stretch out the front of the shin, flex the foot, dig the heel up. Just keep it going in your own speed. So right now, all this could be done first thing in the morning, the minute you wake up, of your phone or your tablet in bed. This could all be done before you even get out of your bed. A very lazy, relaxing Sunday morning stretch. But not lazy, because you're getting so much benefits that will help you with all the other things you're trying to achieve, whether it's just work or strength training in the gym, your yoga, your walking, posture. Leave it up there now, point and flex the foot. Really start to work into, yes, the hamstrings, but right into your shins and your feet. Full point, full flex. Just see how that's feeling compared to your other leg. Point and flex. Point and flex. Now hold the flex, slide your hands up a little bit more to your calf if you can, and it's a slight pull back. So it's just a pull and release. It's not 100% effort, you're not trying to really get that toe to work over the head. This is when you need to learn to be gentle with your body. Ease and release. Good. And then slowly from there, we're just going to bend that knee. Holding onto the outside of your knee, take your leg across your body and start to allow that knee to fall over to the side. Reaching your other arm out to the side, looking away from your knee, opening through the chest. So we want to feel that stretch all the way through the chest, the front of the shoulder. And breathe. So if your toe is touching the ground, if your knee was like really high off the ground, you could have a yoga block and just rest in the yoga block. So sometimes even this, like letting gravity do the work, gravity is just pushing down on the knee. You can allow it to surrender, to allow it to fall down. But if it was too intense, rest a block underneath your knee. Holding it here. Now grab onto your rib cage and do that breath again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Take your hand away out to the side as you exhale for 2 more breaths. Starting to increase that twist, making it a little bit deeper. When your body wants to go, go with it. And then slowly bringing it all the way back into the middle, pulling your knee in towards your chest. Holding onto the inside of the knee, other hand just rests on the opposite hip, and then allow that knee to fall out to the side. And just rest here. Things that will help is like extending the leg that's straight, pointing and flexing that foot, feeling like someone's grabbing your foot and pulling it down. Try to stretch the whole line right across your abdominals through the inner thighs. And again, breathe, allow it time. You might be tight when you get there, but breathe in, relaxing, softening. And then from there, bringing your knee all the way back in, extend your leg. If you could, reach for your toe. Reach for your toe. If you need to sit up to get it or use a strap, then you can do that as well. And then when you're ready, still opposite hand on your hip, allow it to fall out to the side. There's no rush. Let it settle. Inhale and exhale. Even here, scanning over your body again, thinking as your shoulders. Are you tensing up too much? Are you tensing up your neck and your shoulders and abs that maybe don't need to be tensed up? Let everything go. Soften, release. And then slowly from there, bringing it all the way back into the middle, bending the knee, and then take that leg all the way down. Well done. Now we're going to start from here, just bending both knees in, and it's not a full bridge, okay, but what you're doing is a pelvic tilt, so I want you to curl the tailbone under, so you're lifting your bum off the ground, so you can maybe sweep your hands under, tailbone really curling under, pelvis, hips facing up, and then we're going to go the other way, so we're going to flick our tailbone back, and curl under. Take your hands underneath your back if you can. You might slide your head down and really arch the back here. Good. And then we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to put your hands on your lower abdominals as if you're trying to pull your trousers up here. So we pull, we curl under, lifting the bum. Not like a full bridge, just a slight pelvic tilt under. Hold it here. And again, tailbone down. Let's flick the tailbone back as much as comfortable for you. Then we can drag our heads down into a nice little back bend. So tailbones on the ground, floors on the ground, tailbones on the ground. Take your thumbs underneath and open up your chest and open up your ribs. If it's nice, just stay here. If it's too intense, just go smaller. You don't have to be this big. But if you can take your hands overhead, take them overhead. And just start to work into your deepest postures here. So bringing your heels in, open your chest, open your ribs, extending those arms up, making sure your hands feel comfortable. And just pause and breathe in the nose and out the nose. Taking a minute just to relax. If that was too intense, bend your elbows. Hands could be out to the side. So you've got to find where you can settle and feel good. And then slowly dig your hands into the ground, lift the bum up, curl the tailbone under again, placing the spine down. Take your hands and curl yourself into a ball. So hugging your knees in towards your chest and start to do your first little head lift, holding those knees in. Really curl in as tight as possible. Good. Now from here, you're going to roll over to your right side, slowly bringing yourself all the way up. Good, so we're going to take ourselves to all fours, taking your time. And you should feel really good. So now we're going to start to build ourselves up into all fours. So what I want you to do is placing your hands on the floor, spreading your fingers wide, wrist, elbows and shoulders in a nice straight line. Now we're still going to work with our ankles here, so we're going to point and flex the feet. So I'll let you have a look first. It's going to be pointing and flexing. But at the same time, you'll flex the feet, we'll open the chest and ribs, pulling the shoulders back, looking forward. And then we're going to point the toes and round the spine as much as possible. Flex the feet, chest and ribs go forward, pulling the shoulders back. Point the toes round through the spine. Now really push into the floor and open the shoulder blades and back as much as possible. Flex the feet, chest goes forward. One more time, point the toes round through the spine. Push that little bit harder. Flexing the feet. Arching the back. So we're going into this stretch. We're going to rest. Normally I would move you in and out of it. So what we're going to do is take one arm, any arm, it's up to you. Slide it under and rest on your ear. And we're just going to stay here. The palm of the hand is facing the ceiling. The other hand is pressing into the ground. Your elbow can be up. Now, your rotation comes from your ribs. So as you settle and rest here, you get yourself into your comfiest place. You want to push into the hand and almost like you're trying to look up towards the ceiling, pulling the rib back. So one rib's coming back, one rib's coming under. You're really working on that rotation through the spine. Breathing into your rib cage so it's facing more towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So we're doing one with pointed toes here. If you watch my feet, you can actually point your toes and really try and put them as hard as you can, trying to get full. If they cramp up too much, just you can ease and release into that as well. Or you could just keep that full point. And then we're slowly going to push yourself up. So you do need a good bit of power here. So push all the way back to all fours. We're going to the other side, but as you do the other side, I want you to flex your feet this time, so curl the toes under. So when you're ready, just start to take yourself down. Your comfiest place, palm of the hand facing up, really stretching out the rhomboids here, the deltoids, keeping the feet flexed, curl your toes under, push into your hand, rotating through the rib cage, ribs twisting all the way up towards the ceiling, that underneath the rib pulling through. Deep breathing to that top rib, in the nose, out the nose. And then slowly from there, point the toes, big push all the way back in. So we're going to stretch back into a child pose. What I'm looking for this one is your toes together. Lean into your hands and take your knees out wide. So a really wide child pose, toes together, knees out wide. And I want you to sink back into your heels. So actually starting with is a lion pose first, then we're going into child pose, and then we're going into a really good deep back bend after this. So the lion pose is where you sit back into your heels. If that's too much, you can have a yoga block sitting underneath you, or you can just stay up quite high. Spread your fingers wide, take your hands out in front of you. Lift the chest, lift the ribs, and then just looking forward. Holding it here. So again, everything you're focusing on. Look at your fingertips. Are they wide? There's something going on with your hands and your wrists. So look, try and get your thumb symmetrical, your fingers, middle finger, pinkies, making sure the inside of the arms are facing in towards each other, elbows out to the side, sticking your chest out. Keep looking forward, take your hands a little bit further, still pushing the heart forward. We're not going to release the head yet, we're just pushing all the way forward. Now from here, we're going to walk forward, still keeping active, crawling your fingertips forward. Don't want you to slouch and release the head. I want your ears to be in line with your arms here. And then extend those arms out in front of you, lengthening through your spine. Pushing your tailbone back. Keep, like a spider, crawling those fingertips further forward at the same time as pushing your tailbone back. And breathe. So don't bend the elbows, don't rest on the elbows. If you need you to stay higher, stay higher. Now the next one is quite intense, and if it's too much for you, I just want you to stay where you are and breathe. But the next one is you look forward towards your hands. Now you stay down nice and low, and we crawl. If you want to watch for a second first, you can. We crawl forward, and you're trying to push your chest towards the floor. To eventually be able to get your chest down, and just gently rest your chin. Reaching your hands still out in front of you, and you stay and breathe. So your bum is high. Chest is on the floor, hands are forward, and breathe. Two more breaths. And then slowly pushing into your hands, taking yourself tiny little steps to bring yourself back in. So it's quite intense, but you're glad to know we're going to sit cross-legged now. So take your time to sit down. If you need a yoga block underneath your hips, you can take a yoga block underneath your hips. And what we're going to do is work on any leg, whatever feels easiest for you, tucking those legs under, resting on the edges of your feet and keep your feet flexed at the same time as trying to allow those knees to relax out to the side. Once you get here, you can push into your hands and just try and flick your tailbone back, lifting your chest and ribs up nice and high. Placing your hands on your knees and work on that good posture. So inhale, and then exhale. Inhale. Exhale, we're just allowing the knees to open, the hips to open. In a second, we're going to be tucking our legs round to the side into a nice little twist. Good. Well done. And then when you're ready, we're just going to tuck our legs. We'll go round towards the right first. So tucking your legs round to the right, just as if you're about to stand up. This is a wee mermaid pose, so we tuck our legs in nice and tight. If it's too intense, you could have a yoga block and sitting up a little bit higher for this as well, so just underneath your hips. And all I want you to do is, we'll start easy, so you can lounge out to the side. This is where you'll tend to want to take yourself, okay? But what I now want you to do is work your way in, so you can rise up to try and lift your chest and ribs up as tall as possible. So work on good posture. Take your opposite hand to your knee. Now, when we twist, I want you to think about your spine growing taller and taller and taller as you inhale. As you exhale, you rotate and twist further. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, twist deeper. So we go inhale, nice and tall. Exhale and twist and look over your shoulder and pause. Inhale again. Exhale, twist. So you can use your fingers to get that little twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, twist. In slow motion, start to bring your head round, start to move the rib cage around. And we're doing that on the other side. Well done. So take your time, just bringing yourself around first. Keep it here for a second. Take your hands back, arch the back, lift the chest, lift the ribs. And then slowly take those legs around the other side. So taking your time, resting on your hip, tucking your feet under, pointing your toes. Sitting up as tall as possible. So you can lounge to the side first and then bring yourself in, nice and tall. Take your hand across, inhale. And you know what you're doing now? We're exhaling and into that rotation. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, twist. One more breath. Exhale, twist. And then slowly release. Now you can bring yourself back into easy pose, which is cross-legged, or you can lie back and go to your Savasana. Or you might just feel that was a nice little gentle stretch just to take you into the day, a walk, a stretch, a harder workout. You should feel mobilized and ready now. But whatever you're about to do, just enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Well done, everybody, on the live classes. Were fantastic. I hope you're nice and relaxed now. Do you feel good?